and welcome to episode 9 of the Sticks Plus Twine podcast. I'm Eric, your host. First, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's coming back for another exciting, well, I hope it's exciting episode of Sticks Plus Twine. And I am filming in my home here in Toronto, in Canada. And I'm actually filming, I started a little bit later than I wanted to, but I'm filming trying to concurrently sort of, as Jaclyn from Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast would say, you know, sort of looking at the same stars as Jennie and Devon from Tiny Paper Foxes and Jaclyn are having a meetup right now at, I think they're at Gauge and Tension, which I did not get to go to when I was in New York last, but someday I'll make it there. I can be found on Ravelry as EPLUTZ or Z if you are American, or I can also be found on Instagram at e.p.lutz as well if you want to follow me there. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed and thumbs up and commented and participated in the Ravelry group. Super appreciate your participation and support. And let's just get into it. So first, you may hear a dog sort of yipping and yapping. Someone in my building has just obviously gotten either a puppy or a dog, and I'm not too crazy about it because I think dog owners, you really kind of need to be a little more, let's say, a little more conciliatory to your neighbors. Recognize that leaving a poor puppy in a cage by itself and it's yipping is not fun for your neighbors. Anyway, I love dogs, I love animals, I love cats, but I also know that were I to have one, I'd probably be hopefully a little more conscientious. Anyway, sorry if there's a little bit of yipping in the background, so apologies. So I just wanted to start out with saying thanks to everyone who participated in the tea swap. I know I've seen a lot of the sort of photos and packages that are arriving, and I am no stranger to such things myself. I've also had some things that have been sent my way from just like super friendly viewers, and I thought I'd share some of that to start. It's kind of acquisitions, but it's kind of not, because it's you know, it's tea swap. It's fun stuff. So first I got this is from Vicky from Sweet Leaps podcast, who just said, you know what, I saw some stuff on your Instagram that I thought you'd really like. So she sent me this lovely little card, first of all, and it's Super Mario Brothers, which is kind of cute and fun, and that was really sweet. Thank you, Vicky. She included both some tea in this package, Numi tea, and a little mini, and she sent me a couple of stitch markers, one that says Abundance on it, which is kind of pretty, and then one that's, she thought it was appropriate for all of the wool piggery that we've been talking about, so it's a little piggy, which I thought was so cute. That's adorable. Thank you so much, Vicky. Along with that, she sent me some paper cutouts from Mario and Luigi's Paper Jam, which I thought was adorable. I'd had sort of a bit of a rough day last week on, I think it was last Friday, and I posted on my Instagram some photos of paper monsters that I'd cut out and glued together, just for something fun to do, just to change my perspective, change my mind, and she thought I might like these. So thank you so much, Vicky. I really appreciate that. That's super sweet of you. And also Annie from Germany sent me this amazing package. I've taken everything out of the wrapping, but you can see I've got this whole assortment of amazing minis, and she has thoughtfully tagged all of them for me so I can sort of see what they are, and I've got a bit of a legend in the card that she sent so I can sort of see what all of them are, and that is all on the back of this gorgeous postcard that she sent for me. So you can see right behind here, all of the cards that people send me, I keep them because I just think they're so sweet for people to send. So thank you, Annie, so much for that. I really appreciate it. And she also sent along with that, sorry for the crinkling because there's all kinds of paper, a ton of little tea bags of all these amazing different flavors that I know for sure I would not be able to get. I've been dipping into them a little bit, but there's like caramel apple pie, I think this is mixed fruit. There's a mango lassi chai. This one has been my favorite so far, which is the Spanish orange. This one's fantastic. I love orange flavored teas, and anyone who got some of my tea swaps or other packages would see I probably included some Tazo tea in there. She also sent me a cute little sock pattern, which is kind of cute, and a little teensy weensy little elephant post-it note, which I thought was great. So thank you so much, Annie, for that. I really, really appreciate it. What else did I get? Well, if you were watching Sticks Plus Twine, not Sticks Plus Twine, that's mine, Tiny Paper Foxes last week, you would see that Jennie and I entered us into a giveaway from Bags by Terry, who sent us these great Downton Abbey bags, which I thought the fabric was amazing. The quality of it, there's sort of a pull tag on both sides, which I thought was really handy. He's got a cute little zipper pull with BBT for Bags by Terry, I'm assuming. That would make sense. It is incredibly well made, I have to say. It's got a great sort of larger pocket, 2 little pen pockets inside, and it really does stand up on its own. It's very sturdy, it's very well made. If you haven't checked out his Etsy shop, you probably should, because I think they're amazing. So thank you so much for that, Terry. That was a great little surprise to get in, through Instagram. Who knew? But I also got another package, so I'm just going to lean over. This one came from Jaclyn, who is Tokyo City Girl, and this was part of our tea swap. And I have to say, the Japanese know how to do boxes. This is, sorry, my unit number, so you can see that's what the writing is. Sorry about they're destroying that. But this is the cutest thing. It's got all these great little illustrations of pieces and parts of Tokyo, which I thought was great. So what did she send me? She sent me this gorgeous little card with pandas on it, which was fantastic. She sent me some bath salts, which I thought was really cool. I can't wait to try that. I'm probably going to try that tonight. That sounds like a lot of fun. She also sent me 2 different kinds of packaged teas. This one is black tea with Japanese cherry, which I will try. I'll probably have some of that this afternoon. And also grapefruit green tea. And grapefruit is one of my favorite flavors for tea, especially for fruit teas. I love citrus teas, as you can probably tell by now. So that was awesome. But no, wait, there's more. She also sent me this amazing paper-covered little tin, which has, when you take the top off, it has this gorgeous little brass-colored lid to keep everything fresh and tidy inside. And inside this one, she sent in a little card with it. That this is her favorite. This is matcha with black soybean. So I can't wait to try that too. That's going to be awesome. I was going to try it last night, and then I thought, maybe a little too much caffeine for evening, because I didn't get home to pick this up till later. So thank you so much for that. That's awesome. She also included a wonderfully little packaged parcel of minis, which is amazing. I'm feeling an abundance of sock blanket knitting that's going to be coming. And then she also sent, really, you spoiled me, Jaclyn, you really did. This great little packet with some candies in it, some Japanese candies, which is fantastic. I love Japanese candy. And wait, if that wasn't enough, she also sent me this amazing skein of, I'm just going to put this box out of the way, of Madelinetosh DK Twist, which it looks super, super black on camera. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to see this. Let me find a good spot for it. Oh, there's a good spot. I don't know if the camera will pick up on that, but it's the Nocturne colorway, and it's got some flashes of blue in it as well. So it feels like it must have been dyed sort of this beautiful indigo color and then over dyed with this super, super intense dark black navy color, which if you haven't noticed by now, I tend to wear a lot of blue. This is going to be perfect. I can't wait to figure out what I'm going to make with this. So again, Jaclyn, thank you so much. You absolutely spoiled me. So I think I got quite a bit in that. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. Oh, yes, there is actually. And I forgot to bring it out with me. So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to come back because I really wanted to show you that one too. Okay. Hi, thanks for your patience while I went and sort of cleared the decks and reset myself. So the other thing that I got in the mail this week that just came, I got this wonderful little package from Sarah. She's Sarah Stevens on Ravelry. She's part of the O-Loops girls. We had a bit of a change in some of the T-swap partners, just so that people in the same country were able to swap with other people, and that was my mistake. So I switched to Sarah with somebody else. Thanks for that, Sarah, that you were so accommodating. But she decided to send me some stuff anyway, and I know I've got a little parcel that I'm putting together for her as well. And I have to say, Sarah's just been absolutely amazing. She's been a huge supporter of the podcast since the beginning, and I really, really appreciate that. But she also sent me a little parcel this week, which was fantastic. Of course, she included some amazing O-Loops minis, which I haven't taken out of the packet yet because I'm trying to keep all of them together so that I can make notes for myself as to which parts of my Cozy Memories blanket come from whom, so that I will have those memories of those people. Because I can imagine I've only got 12 maybe squares done, which isn't a lot, but I'm already starting to go, which one came from where? So that's why I'm keeping everything in parcels and packets right now. But she also sent me some tea, which is fantastic. I'm hoping, yeah, these are right side up. So I've got Blackberry Sage, which sounds amazing, and Orange Blossom. Are you sensing a trend on the orange? People must know me already. She sent me a couple of Stash Meyer Lemon and a couple of Good Earth Sweet and Spicy Herbal and Black Tea. This one sounds fantastic, and it also has orange in it, so I'm happy, really happy about that. And then she sent me a couple from a little local shop. I'm reading from her note here, from Spokane, Washington, called Pleasant Blends. And it's owned by the sweetest little lady in the world. So tea number 1, I'm glad this got through customs and didn't have an issue. It's called Evening in Missoula, which is fantastic. It smells amazing. And this one is called Market Spice Tea. So that's phenomenal. I am really looking forward to the one that I have to send you because I think you're really going to like it as well, Sarah. Oh, and look at this great little card that she sent with all these great colors. It got a little bent, I think, in the post, but that's easily fixed. I just love the colors in that. That's really nice. So thank you so much for that, Sarah. I really, really appreciate it. While I'm in the gratitude and sharing mode, I also wanted to send a little shout out to Megan over at Post Stitch. I guess it was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, Friday. They had posted on their blog sort of a podcasters they met at Vogue Knitting Live, and she really kind of astounded me and honored me with calling attention to meeting me and the podcast and everything else. So Megan, I can't thank you enough. That was so sweet of you. And we'll certainly be talking soon, I hope. She also included Mina from Knitting Expat in that, and how great it was to meet her. And I have to say that you're right. Meeting Mina was definitely a highlight for me too. So yay. Hi, Mina. I miss you. So what else is new? So there was another Instagram, again, I'm all about sharing the love apparently today, because as you can see, I don't have a lot of knitting progress to share. So I'll get to that, I promise. There was an Instagram contest, entry for a, early screening of the latest episode, or the newest upcoming episode of Stephen B on TV, which premiered at Vogue Knitting Live. And I watched the first episode and loved it. I thought it was awesome. So I won the preview screening along with, I think, 2 or 3 other people to see episode 2 called Knitsburg, where they travel out from Minneapolis to Pittsburgh, which I thought was pretty awesome. And it was fun. I watched it this morning. I haven't really had time yesterday, and I'll get to that sort of at the end of the podcast. I'll just blab on a little bit about what's been going on this week. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was really... It's interesting to see, sort of this larger than life personality, and the team around that whole brand and everything else. And I find it really amazing to see how they sort of pull together and work together on that stuff. So that was awesome. Just flipping my note pages. I don't want to miss anything. So in the theme, again, of sharing the love, I'm just going to take a sip of my tea, because let's not forget that, shall we? Oh, that's bracing. This is Yorkshire tea. I bought it a little while ago when I was in London. They had like a sale on a couple of boxes for, I think it was like 2 boxes for £3 or something. So I've got quite a bit of it. But I hadn't broken into this stash yet, so it was kind of nice to have something new. So it's just, I do sort of black tea with a little bit of sugar and milk in it, and this is really, really good. I really enjoy it. Mm. So back to the UK. Um, a new, she calls it a vlog. We call it podcasting. Whatever you want to call it, it's amazing and you must watch. This is from me to you. I'm looking right in the camera. This is from me to you. You must watch her. The video channel on podcast is called Inside Number 23, and it's Katie. She's known as Miss Lavelli with an A at the end on Ravelry, and Miss Lavelli on Instagram. And I just fell in love with her from like the first time I started watching. She did a 24 days of Vlogmas, sort of an advent calendar video blog that I spent literally last weekend. I just watched all the episodes. She's amazing. She's a brilliant knitter. She's got a gorgeous, gorgeous aesthetic. She's got the most cute little pug. I'm not particularly a pug person. My best friend has one too. But oh my God, so, so adorable. And the things that she knits and she sews, and she's into garment construction, and seriously, you need to check this girl out. She will brighten your day in a heartbeat. And in fact, I was hoping to get to London this weekend, but it didn't quite happen. So, but we were going to try and meet up. So if I didn't live up to sort of my own desire to go meet her, oh well, I'll be going to London probably in the next, month or two anyway. So hopefully we'll get a chance to meet in person. But seriously, you have to watch her. I'll put all the show notes, of course. We'll have the links to hers. I also wanted to say welcome back to a few podcasts that hadn't been on air for a little bit. They've been taking a bit of a hiatus. So Diary of a Yarn Snob is back, which I love because she's got great taste in yarn. Tilly Trout, I adore Tilly, and she and Dani from Little Bobbins Knits have inspired me for one of the things that I'll talk about in acquisitions. And also welcome back to Kemper. She's back in podcasting, which is great. Missed you, lady. I'm glad you're back. And for a lot of people, I've been sort of putting me on to Sockmatician podcast, and I have to say I do watch Nathan's podcast, but he hasn't done one in a while, so I didn't have anything really current to sort of respond to. But I do really like watching him. They tend to be quite long, so I kind of have to watch them in bits and pieces because I just can't sit in front of the computer and watch podcasts for too many hours on end. I usually get, not bored, but my attention span wanes and I need to do other stuff, or I get like, oh, I've got to do laundry, or I'm baking bread, or whatever. So yes, I do watch other male podcasters. So anyone who thinks that I don't, please don't mistake me. It's just so happens that the ones that I have been corresponding with primarily have been women. But does it really matter? Truly, whether they're men or women, we're all knitters. We're all good. What else has been keeping me occupied? I also I've been sort of trying to walk to work. It's about 2 kilometers each way, well, maybe 3, to the office. And on the way, I have been listening to the Knit FM podcast with Pam Allen and Hannah Fettig. If you haven't, you not only should, but you must. I think it should be almost required reading for anyone who is beginning or intermediate knitter. And even an advanced knitter. I feel like my knowledge of yarn and technique and design have been so much enhanced by watching or listening to them, not watching them. It's an audio podcast. I just download it from iTunes. So that's really cool. And then I've also who was it that put me onto audiobooks as a knitting thing? I think it was Adrian from Freakish Lemon was talking about Star Wars audiobooks. So I started looking into it. And then I downloaded the Friday Night Knitting Club by Kate Jacobs. And I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll give that a go. It's obviously in that, I want to say chick lit realm, but I absolutely am enjoying it so far. So it's, good just to, keep the brain occupied when you'll see where I'm kind of bored on one of my projects at the moment. So that's good. In terms of sort of wrapping up the podcasting sort of roundup section, I don't think I'll be podcasting next week. Sebastian and I are going to Sedona, Arizona for the weekend. It's our 10th anniversary on Thursday. And so we're just going away for sort of a weekend getaway, which is another reason why going to London this weekend was maybe not the best idea. We've had a pretty busy week at work, so I wanted to make sure that I had enough time to actually do some work. I would have been in the office only like a day and a half, and we're too busy for that right now. So, which is fine. I mean, we can go to London quite often anyway. So that's what's that. Now, on to the knitting. That's what you want to know about. The Wendy Sky shawl that I'm test knitting for Debbie S. Reese on Ravelry, I have not had any progress this week. It's a shameful thing, I know, but it's on my needles and I'm going to keep moving on it. The unfortunate thing is I've literally had, I'll get into this a little bit more, why it's been such a challenging week. It's been a tough week. Just really in terms of just trying to juggle everything. Nothing major significant to note, but there's been so much going on that I haven't had a lot of time. So I will come back to it. I'm planning on getting back into it tomorrow, because I would like to have this finished and blocked and done and wrapped for Mother's Day, which is, I know, quite a ways away, but I have a lot of projects on the go that I have to get done. So I want to make sure that I get all that finished, and I want it done before the pattern obviously gets released. So working on that. I finished one sock of a pair of socks that I'm making out of Knit Picks Felici in the Baker Street colorway. I'll put a picture up over here because, again, I forgot the sock in another project bag. It was fun to make. I was testing out how to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel. So I was using Mina's 2 at a time recipe. But I did one at a time for this one because I wanted to try and learn, first of all, the techniques that she uses. Not that there's anything like outrageously different, but in incorporating a Fish Lips Kiss heel, I wanted to make sure that I kind of understood and knew what I was doing without getting all worried about, am I doing it right for 2 socks or anything. So I don't have second sock syndrome. I do want to get back to it. I don't not want to knit it. But I just felt like I wanted to knit something bigger. I want to give my hands a bit of a break because I went pretty intensively on that, for me anyway. Not so much for Mina, but for me. So what else is going on? So the Japanese cable hat that I showed last week or the week before, I actually frogged it. Because I really, really didn't like the yarn. I love the pattern and I love learning how to do it, but I really don't like the yarn. And I've got 6, I think they're 50-gram balls of this weird, all-natural. I mean, it's good. It's loose and it's Aran weight, and I don't like it particularly. So I don't think I'm going to do much with it. I might just sort of restash it for a while and see if something else comes up. But so that's why. So I've got one sock of 2 that are done. I've got one that I've frogged, one that I haven't made any progress on. Sensing a trend here. So what did I do? Well, I did finally do one thing, which is in my bag from Mrs. Brown's Bags, which is backwards, you can't see it. Sorry, the tag's on that side. There you go. In this amazing size bag, I love it. And inside, I can pull out, ta-da! I am working on the ribbing portion for the Rift sweater. Finally, I cast it on. This is in Quince & Co. Lark in the Frost colorway, which I am loving working with. This yarn is so light and so airy, and I did I was talking with Carleen from Carleenergy on Instagram the other day, and I was trying to debate whether or not I wanted to do the tubular cast on. And man, am I glad that I did. Look how stretchy that is. That's awesome. I'm so pleased with how that turned out. There's a lot of 1x1 ribbing in this, and I was getting bored with it, and I was trying to do it last night, and I thought, I'll try and get it done. It needs 3 inches of ribbing, which I'm not crazy about. Anyone who's watched the podcast before will know that I'm not a fan of ribbing. I hate doing it, but it's a necessary evil to get to the fun part. So I'm doing it. I've got about another 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch to get done. I'll get that done this afternoon, and then I can actually start constructing, which is great. But I also wanted to say thank you so much to Jody at Mrs. Brown's Bags. She has been so awesome. And if you haven't checked out her Etsy shop, you absolutely must. There will be a link in the show notes, of course. She has decided to call the bag in this colorway in the cable fabric with the canvasy bottom, which makes it nice and sort of sturdy. She is going to start calling this the Lutz design, which I was honored. She offered it, I guess, a couple of weeks ago and said, would you be okay with that? Well, of course I'd be okay with that. That was awesome of her. So she has the fabric on order. She doesn't have any in the shop at the moment, but she will probably in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for shop updates from Jody for that. And get yourself a Lutz bag. I have mine. Thank you so much, Jody. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. So I'm just going to, pardon, there's going to be a crinkle. There you go. Sorry about that. I have made a little bit more progress on my Cozy Memories blanket as well. And Andi confirmed, sorry, just to backtrack on this one, she confirmed that this was the yarn that she used. If you watch the AndreSueKnits podcast, this was the yarn that she used in her advent calendar scarf as well. So I feel pretty honored that she sent me some of that so that I have a little piece of Andi's scarf in here. I added this square, which is the Knit Picks Felici in Baker Street. I had more than enough left to do that, which I thought was kind of nice. My own actual first pair of socks that I made out of stuff that I want to wear in my blanket, which is great. Oh no, it's technically my second. Ta-da! You've got two. And then I've added in, I had just finished it this morning, so I haven't woven in the ends yet. But this is yarn that Jessie gave me at Vogue Knitting Live, which was so nice of her. So it's interesting. Some people have asked me if I have a particular issue or if I want just masculine colors for minis. Honestly, I'm not fussed. I figure this blanket is going to have so much different coloring in it. It really won't matter whether there's pinks or purples or greens or sparkle. I'm not fussed. I just really like the idea of having this great big huge multicolored blanket. Whether I stop at a throw size or if I go to full, blanket size, which who knows, maybe I will. I feel like I have enough minis at least for a throw size now. So thank you so much, Jessie, for that. Really appreciate that. So, and this of course lives in a lovely little project bag, but it's out at the moment, obviously. So, not a lot of whips. The only FO that I have is the one sock, so not a lot of knitting happened this week, not gonna lie. More on that at the end, so that if you're just interested in the knitting sort of stuff, you don't have to listen to me babble on about the rest of my week. So, stash enhancement. I've already shown you the skein that I got. Is just down here to my left, which is why I'm looking at it. The skein that Jaclyn sent me of the Madelinetosh, which I love. It's amazing. I also had to go and buy some more yarn this week, but there's a reason, so I'll get to that. First, I was going to share, I picked up a Party of 5 pack from Sweetgeorgia of the Tough Love sock. And these are in saffron, ginger, pumpkin, tumbled stone, and bison colorways. This is going to be my heel and toes colors. Maybe cuffs as well for socks as I go forward. I really liked the different variety of colors. I thought they go really well with sort of my color palette as well, but still there's enough contrast in them to give it some visual definition that might make them fun for me to knit with and to wear. So that was pretty cool. I picked that up at the Purple Pearl here in Toronto, which I love that store. It's a fun little store. So there's that. And so the other thing that I picked up was I saw on their same Purple Pearl's Instagram feed that they had posted a picture that they had gotten back the Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash in worsted. So I picked up, I've got 2 of these and 4 of these. These are the navy and the pumpkin colorways. You can probably tell that orange and blue are my favorites. Why? Because they're a natural color combination and I adore them. But I picked these up for a particular project and for a reason. One of the suppliers that I work with has just done such an outstanding, tremendous, amazing job in the past 2 weeks for us that I felt like in talking with another consultant that works with us, that I wanted to do something a little special as a thank you for her. I mean, a paycheck, yeah, she's getting paid, of course she is, but to do something a little bit more to show some appreciation for her. So I decided after seeing Tilly Trout and Dani's Gramps Cardigans that I was going to make 2 for her because she's expecting at the end of March. And we already know it's a little boy, and she's already got a little boy. So I thought, how cute would it be to have complementary sweaters for both of them so that, I don't want Cole, her little son, to be left out. So the baby is going to be navy with picked up color in the pumpkin. And Cole, her older son, is going to have the sweater is going to be orange, and the patches and picked up color work around the collar is going to be in the navy. So I wanted to make sure for a young mom, of course, that she is able to sort of put these in the washer so that she's not going to have to worry about it. I will give her washing instructions, but I'm pretty comfortable that she'll probably be able to take care of this stuff. She's pretty crafty herself, so I'm pretty sure is comfortable with how to take care of hand knits. So I'm looking forward to those. Yeah, because I don't have enough that I'm already committing myself to. But I'm really going to enjoy knitting those. That I've got the pattern already, and it's so cute and adorable. So question for anyone who's knit it, is there anything that you found that was difficult or challenging? Or, I mean, the pattern looks pretty straightforward. I'm comfortable with everything that's in it. I have to go pick up some buttons, so I will probably go to... There's an amazing place that I've gone to before called the Workroom that I've taken sewing lessons and stuff in that has the most amazing button selection. There's a couple of places on Queen Street. Queen and Spadina is sort of known as the fashion district here in Toronto, and there's a ton of fabric stores and everything else there. So I'll pick up some buttons for the kids, which would be great. Maybe some nautical sort of buttons or something might be fun. But I kind of want to make one for myself now. So it won't be this season. I'll maybe plan for it for next season, but the pattern comes with so many different sizes that you can really, really make one for yourself if you really want, which I kind of do now. So maybe next fall? Don't know. The Rift was going to be my Rhinebeck sweater, and it will be. But because we're going for the weekend, maybe I need 2 Rhinebeck sweaters. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just going to switch my page over. So the only other thing in stash enhancement, I haven't really bought anything else. I think I've got enough between all the things that people have sent me and the things that I picked up. I haven't even cracked slightly into my Vogue Knitting Live stash at all. But there was one thing that I'm really kind of thinking I still want to get, and that's the Twilight colorway from the Arnie and Carlos Regia line. And I know I can get it online. It's pretty easy to find. Even Craftsy has it. They have a sale on right now. It's like $9 Canadian for a 50-gram ball, but the shipping is ridiculous. So I'm going to try maybe run out to Romney. I know they've got a pretty deep selection of Regia in their stock. So I'm going to see if I can find it. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this colorway. I've got one that's very, very similar already, but I feel like I have to have it. I don't know why. I don't have enough stash, although it was so funny. When I was trying to collect all my bits and bobs for today's podcast, I literally, stash is like kind of a hideaway. I stashed stuff so well, I had a hard time finding what I was looking for. Where did I put it? So I really don't need it, but if I'm going to acquire anything right now, I think that's going to be the one thing that I do want. So I'm going to go out and see if I can find it. So I think that's about it for all of that sort of stuff. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the Ravelry group. So the T-swap is going great. It seems like a lot of people are really happy with what they have been receiving. And I'm kind of thinking now maybe we'll do another one in the summer. So if you missed out on this one, maybe we'll do a summer-focused T-swap for things that are like for iced tea and stuff. That might be nice for the people that, are in climates where it's a little bit warmer in summer. So let me know if you'd be interested in doing that. I'm not going to organize that till probably June or July, so that the weather's a little bit hotter and we're in the mood for that stuff. So there's that. The men's accessories knit along that I'm hosting right now is closing on the 14th of February. Starting to see a lot of really, really beautiful projects that are finished. A few, let's say, cheeky additions that are in there, which, hey, it all counts. People have been asking questions about if they can enter multiple times. You know what? I don't really think I'm going to worry about it. If you want to enter multiple times, have at it. You know, my call, my rules. This isn't, you know, it's not a legal giveaway. There's no contest rules, so I'm making it up as I go along. You want to knit 4 things, enter twice. That's cool. I did put a post on the Ravelry group that said that if you had posted in the FO thread, but it only posted a picture of one item, I'm going to send you a message and let you know that I have to delete that one. You have to put a picture of both your items in to be counted. That way it's fair for everybody so that you're not actually getting duplicate entries just from posting twice. So take a look. I know a few people did it. I don't think it's really a widespread issue, but I just want to make sure that everybody's happy and treated fairly. Cool. So prizes. I showed the bag last week of the gorgeous, gorgeous bag from Mrs. Brown's Bags. Again, that's with the flannel plaid, which is stunning. I love that one. And then Andi from the Wonderwolle podcast is also sending a set of stitch markers. She's confirmed this week that she's going to be sending those, which they were out of stock for a little bit, but now they will be hopefully on their way. And as soon as I get them and we draw the winners, we're closing on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. Great day to give your guy his prezzies, yes, if you haven't already. And so I will be, the following podcast after that one is when I will be announcing who the winners are. So you'll have to watch and find out if you won. So those are coming. And then I had said in the thread that I will be throwing in something from me as well. So what I'm going to do is keep that a surprise. You'll have to wait and see when you get it. So that's that knit along. And I'm toying with the idea, and I'm about 80%, I guess it's not really toying, but I'm about 80% confirmed that I'm going to start hosting a new knit along that will be based around the exploration station. If you've been following in the conversation, the Ravelry group, you'll see that after I posted my color choices that Mina and I collaborated on out of the Madelinetosh custom colorways for Nitty City, that a lot of people were really interested and intrigued about maybe starting it on their own. And for, you know, sort of a beginner / intermediate knit, there's some interesting techniques in it that I know I will learn a lot from it. So let's just say it, let's just call it, I'm going to do it. So we're going to do an exploration knit along. And I've kind of put some thoughts around what I would do around that. So here's sort of the general idea. Starting February 15th, because, you know, once we cast off all of our, you know, men's accessories, got to start something else. So starting February 15th until March 1st, we're going to do a prep phase. So that prep phase is going to be where you select your colors. You can post in, you know, Instagram or Ravelry or anywhere else for, you know, suggestions. What do people think about color combinations, any of that stuff. Then we're also going to swatch for the colors to make sure that we like the colors together. And anyone who hasn't done brioche, which I have never done brioche before, that's a great time maybe for us to take some stash yarn out and start learning some techniques. I will be using the very pink knits. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I'll have the show notes will include the link as to where I'm going to hopefully learn how to do brioche. And I think one of the recent issues of Interweave also had a how to do brioche section in it, so that'll be kind of fun to follow through and learn. So that's sort of the first 2 weeks. Sorry, getting dry throat there. And then starting March 1st, we will kick off with section 1. And section 1, now I went back and looked at the Mystery Cal sort of cadence. How fast did they run through that? And it was 1 clue per week was released. And I'm pretty sure because it's a Stephen West Cal, everybody's enthusiastic and it's a mystery, that a lot of people are probably just racing through them. I'm going to give a little bit more time than a week to do each section. So I'm thinking the 1st to the 10th, we're going to do section 1. Then the 10th to the 20th, we're going to do section 2. Section 3 will start the 20th of March and we'll go to April 1st, when we're then going to start sections 4 and 5. But that could be a bit aggressive for some people, including me, because I have 2 Gramps Cardies plus a Rift sweater to knit as well, plus the Wendy Sky shawl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 giveaways in this one. On April 12th, I will be doing a whip party, which will be anybody who's posted in the, I'm going to try and keep it, I learned my lesson in the last one, keeping between like chatter and whips. I'm going to do just 1 thread for chatter and whips. Anybody who's posted in that a photograph, you have to post a photograph of your whip. So not just commenting on other people's, but if you're actually actively working on it. I'm going to do a prize drawing. And for that one, I'm going to give away a $25 Etsy gift certificate. So that way you can pick whatever you like, whether it's stitch markers or a bag or whatever it is that you're happy with. And that'll be $25 US. I'll keep that to US because Canadian dollars are not all that valuable, sadly. But April 12th is also, it's sort of a significant date in sort of space exploration history as well. So I'll put a note to a link so that you can get a bit more detail around that. We'll be talking more about sort of spaciness. And then May 5th is when I'm going to do a second drawing. So you can sort of see from April 12th sort of to May 5th, it gives you enough time, I think, hopefully for me too, to really finish it off or redo a section or decide what you want to finish it with. Excuse me. And that's when we're going to do the FO draw. And that will have a separate thread. And you must complete and bound off and blocked and woven in on the ends to participate for that one. So that one on May 5th, that we're calling the FO party. And I am going to do the draw for that for 2 prizes. First prize is going to be a skein of Indigo Dragonfly sci-fi themed yarn. So I will leave it up to you to choose the colorway and the weight in which you would like to receive it. And then I'll either buy it or order it and have it shipped to you directly. And then I'm going to do a second prize for any other pattern in Ravelry up to US $10. So I'm trying to, because postage is so stupid expensive here in Canada to send things around the world, and it's open worldwide, of course. I'm trying to keep things that are shipping costs down to a little bit more reasonable because I'd rather give away more prizes than pay Canada Post for shipping. And if some of them are digital, you'll get them much faster. So that's helpful. So what sort of came to me around all of this is when I was watching the Junkyarn podcast yesterday with Kemper, she had said that she and Bill were doing a rewatch of Battlestar Galactica. And I thought, oh, that sounds like an awesome idea. So one of our streaming services here in Canada actually has the first 4 seasons plus the miniseries in it. So, and I know it's not really readily available in a lot of other jurisdictions. I think they pulled it off Netflix US. But I think I'm probably going to do a Battlestar Galactica rewatch along with Kemper, if she doesn't mind. I'm sort of cribbing on that. But if you want to do, like, there's no requirement for you to do any of these things, but just, keeping in this spacey sort of mood. If you want to watch Doctor Who, or if you're into The Expanse, which is a great new TV series as well. If you haven't read the books, I think the books are actually far better. The TV series is good, but the books are better. Or if you're like a Stargate fan or a Terminator fan, I might end up watching the Terminator series because I never really caught up with that either. If you have Netflix, Sense8 is an amazing, although it's not sci-fi, it sort of falls into that realm because it's not really fantasy. It's kind of, it's sci-fi. It's just more modern day sort of sci-fi-ish. Or if it's, Farscape or Firefly or any of those things, Star Trek, Star Wars, of course. feel free to have at it. So in the discussion chatter thread, love to hear about sort of how you're spending your time when you're participating, hopefully, if you're participating. I do have one more cal that I'm kind of planning for the fall, but I'm not going to talk about it yet because it's going to be a fun one. I have the basic parameters already set up for it that I think are going to be interesting, and I'm hoping you're going to enjoy it too, but it's a little premature to start on that one. So anyway, I think that's about it. That's all I have to share with you today. It's a little bit shorter. I'm back to my normal sort of, I can't even see on my clock how long has this been, half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that, which seems about the right amount of time for me. It's a little bit shorter than a lot of the other ones, but I found an hour one for me was like, oh, I can't talk for that long about knitting, really. I want to get back to the needles. So thank you again to everybody who has watched, who has thumbs up. I have one, somehow it must be a robot or something, hopefully, maybe it's not I hope it's not a person, who keeps giving me one thumbs down on my video. Can't please everybody, whatever. But everybody who subscribed, if you haven't, please do. That was really helpful for me, so that I know that you're going to get all the goodness that is the Sticks Plus Twine podcast. Well, at least I think it's good. I hope you do too. And come join us on the Ravelry group if you haven't already. It's just under Sticks Plus Twine with the plus sign. I know everybody says it's Sticks and Twine, so here's maybe a little piece around that. The reason why I called it Sticks Plus Twine, not Sticks and Twine, is when I was looking for a URL, because originally I just wanted to do a blog. I couldn't get the Sticks and Twine URL. I could only get Sticks Plus Twine. So that's why it's done that way. And I don't know if I can really change it at this point, and I don't know if I really want to. So that's that. So if you just tuned in for all the knitting stuff, you can feel that you have had your breadth and spectrum of what I'm going to talk about from knitting. And if you want to stick around for a few more minutes, I will just give a little bit of blab about why this week has been so fun and interesting. But like I said, I'm not going to be podcasting next week, so it'll be 2 weeks likely. You never know. If there's something that I see in Sedona, or if I have some time to do some knitting, I may post just a short little travel video or something like that. So thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. If you want to stick around and find out what my week's been like, feel free to stick around. Thanks again. All right, so if you've stuck around and you just want to hear about sort of how the week's been, that's cool too. Thank you so much for sticking around. Won't be long, just a couple of minutes. I've had a few people sort of reach out and sort of say, hey, we'd love to hear sort of more what you do and how, what it is that you do. So I think I've talked about it a little bit before, but not earlier this year, middle of last year, my business partner and friend of mine started a innovation strategy agency, and we do communications and we do advertising, we do brand planning, brand strategy, all kinds of sort of fun, cool stuff. And the past, I want to say 10 days has been really weird. I actually had to look up on Monday if Mercury actually was in retrograde because so much weird stuff was going on. So last week, my business partner was traveling to Florida for she's speaking on a design conference panel. So she went to do that. So I was sort of holding down the fort. And while she was away, that was when that wicked, wicked storm that hit the East Coast was coming through. So her flight home on Friday was canceled. So she got stuck down there. Pretty much the minute that she got finished with her speaking engagement, she got sort of hit with a ton of bricks of the flu. So she was stuck and sick. So, again, trying to get through a bunch of stuff. We have a pretty significant ad campaign that's launching on Monday. Or at least all the assets are due on Monday. All of the sort of print pieces and the bus shelter ads and the sides of buses and all that sort of fun stuff is all due on Monday. But to make matters worse, while she got home, and on Sunday night wasn't feeling very well, and so I got a text from her husband very, very early on Monday morning saying they were at hospital, and I was a little bit obviously concerned. What's going on? Turns out she had to have her appendix out. So typically we run our operation pretty lean. It's just the two of us, and we have consultants that work with us that we bring in when we need them. But with her obviously being in surgery and in recovery, it kind of it took more of my time than it normally would. So by the time I would get home, my brain was a little bit fried, and I wasn't really in, not so much not in the mood to knit, but I just couldn't mentally make that leap. I didn't want to mess up my sweater. I didn't want to do anything that I didn't want to screw up anything. So I just thought, no, forget it. I'm not gonna risk it. But then things sort of lightened up near the end. She pulled through totally fine. She's recovering at home. I think she'll be back to work probably on Monday, but obviously anyone who's been through sort of relatively major surgery knows it takes it out of you. So, so that's what's been going on with that. Plus, we're prepping to go to Sedona, which is kind of fun. We're looking at, I think we're going to either do sort of a 4x4 Jeep tour through the hills out in the desert, or we're going to do a balloon ride. I don't think we're going to do both. We don't have that much time out there. So I'm not sure which to do. I kind of want to do the balloon ride, but it's going to be freezing cold. It's cold enough here. So I don't know. We'll figure out what we're going to do. And then I was going to go to London tomorrow night with Sebastian. He's working there and back. And that's where I was hoping to go and meet Katie from Inside Number 23. But unfortunately, because we've got so much going on next week, and like I said, anyone that sort of follows, I don't ascribe to it all the time. I don't think it's always accurate. But it does kind of explain when you've got Mercury in retrograde and you've got a full moon at the same time. No wonder people get squirrely. Monday was sort of like can't do anything right kind of day. But then by the end of the week, all of a sudden, we've got other new pieces of business that have come in, and we've got business that has to finish and get done. We've got planning cycles that we're in. So we're really, really busy. So I just felt like, okay, let's be prudent here, and I'll go to London another time. Other than that, February is going to be pretty busy. We've got a lot on the go. I've got a lot of knitting that I'm going to do. I'm pretty much out of commission for half the month of March. We're going away for Sebastian's birthday. We're doing a cruise. So we'll be leaving from New York on an 8-day cruise. We're going to go with some friends of ours from Texas. And a good friend of ours that's here in Toronto is going to come for the weekend, that we're going to be there beforehand. Unfortunately, again, I'm not going to get to make it to Gauge and Tension because we leave on Saturday. The cruise leaves on Saturday morning. We're leaving the city on Saturday morning to get to the cruise terminal, which is actually in New Jersey. So I'm not going to make it again, so I'm going to have to come down another time. But that's okay. You know what? New York's not that far, and the summer is kind of a nice time to go to New York anyway, when it's not stinking hot anyway, before you hit that sort of heat wavy part. So that's all that's been going on this week. Trying to, just keep things moving, get the bills paid. I'm on the board of directors for my condo, so we had our one of our board meetings. Then we had a strategic planning session on Friday. A friend of mine was having a fundraiser last night, so I went to that, but then I had to leave because I had work stuff I had to approve. And what else did we do? I totally forgot. On Wednesday, I spoke at a conference myself. Talking about the importance of branding and how to manage your brand appropriately and where do you start. So that was another thing that took me sort of out of the office for a little bit, but I really enjoyed doing it, and that was with a client. I was really, really glad to be there with her. So yeah, it's been a busy week. But I'm thrilled that this week looks like it should be a little bit calmer. I would knock on wood, but it's IKEA, so it's not really wood, but it's close enough, I guess. It's wood facsimile. Is it arbor adjacent? I don't know. I'm getting a bit punchy. It must be the yarn fumes. Anyway, I think I've babbled on enough. So thank you so much for joining this week. If you stuck around, thank you for that. If you don't like this section, if you just want to stick around for the knitting, that's fine. I'll always put it at the end. I may not do this sort of segment every week, but what the heck? People have asked a bit more about sort of who I am, and people have been so kind sharing who they are. That I feel like it's only right that we build a relationship together. So thank you so much again to everyone who subscribed, everyone who liked the videos, everyone who's commented and sent me private messages and added me to their friends list. Super, super appreciate it. I really, really, really love hearing from everybody. And if there's something that you'd rather see, or something that you don't see, or something you'd like me to talk about, have at it, please. I'm all ears, and I'm open to pretty much everything. I have limits. I'm not going to lie. I have limits. but I'd be more than happy to consider anything that you might want to throw my way. Thanks again, and have yourself a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.